This video is made possible by Aura. Stay tuned where I show you how to protect your identity online, plus a 14-day risk-free trial linked down below. Hey, what's going on, guys? These are the Sony WH-1000XM5s, and these are the successor to the WH-XM4s, which came out back in August 2020 for $349. They come with a new design, more microphones, better noise cancellation, new features, and a new price tag at $400. Are the XM5s worth it? Well, I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and this is my cousin, Grammy-nominated Chris Johnson, and he's going to give his professional opinion about the audio quality a little bit later in the video. I've had the XM4 since they came out, and they're my go-to headphones when traveling. I have the AirPods Max as well, and there is a comparison video on my channel already, so hit the links or check out the card at the end of the video to watch that. What keeps me going back to the XM4s is how light they are on my head and how comfortable they are. For travel, they fold up nicely and they fit in my bag, and they have great battery life. It does charge quick, so you plug it in for 10 minutes and you get almost a full charge, which is definitely nice. The audio quality is crisp too, with the included app that lets you adjust EQs. The noise cancellation technology is great as well, especially for travel, but what is lacking is a good microphone for taking calls. If someone calls me, I'd actually take off my headphones to take the call, otherwise the recipient really can't hear me. So here we are today with the XM5s. They're 50 bucks more. Right off the bat, one thing that's different, it has to be designed. The XM5s look sleek, and the copper and red accents on the cups and bands look great. What it doesn't look great is how smudgy and how dirty they get and how it happens so fast. My XM4s look flawless, but I don't think about wiping them down. Now with the XM5s, they look oily only after using them for a few minutes, but I am a huge fan how they look, only when they're clean. With the new design, they no longer fold like the XM4s, and initially I wasn't happy about that, but when actually folding them up and comparing them side by side, since they're taller and not as wide, they do fit better in my bag. They do come with a case, but the case does add a lot of bulk, and the eco-friendly material feels like weird jeans to me, so I'll most likely go caseless. Now, I do think Sony does a great job with eco-friendly packaging, and unlike some companies say they're doing the same thing, but the box is full of styrofoam and plastics, and they also no longer provide chargers and cables, Sony at least stands by their word, so kudos to them. In total, expect to get 40 hours of battery life on the XM5s, and more impressively, if you plug in the headphones for 3 minutes, you get an additional 10 hours of battery life. Now for me, I got the low battery warning around the 5th day of heavy usage, and that was between calls and ANC and just listening to music really loud. With the XM4s, battery life was never concerned, so this battery boost is just a bonus. I do like the new ear cups. They seem to be more oval in size, which works better for my ears. The material seems to be different too. I do find overall the XM5s to be cooler over long wear sessions. Day one, I didn't notice noise cancellation was any better, but when I was actually in a noisy environment and switched back and forth, I could tell the difference. It uses software and also uses the microphones around the ear cups to listen to ambient sound and block out that frequency. So the XM4s are still really good. Up until this review, I did wear these on airplanes all the time, and I wear them when working from home and my son is jumping around and screaming as loud as possible, but that doesn't mean the XM5s aren't better, but the XM4s still do a great job getting it done. But the XM4s are still available to purchase. I guess the point I'm getting at is that the XM4s still sound really good. I didn't have a problem with them at all. The fastest growing crime in America right now is identity theft. Every 14 seconds, someone's identity is getting stolen. It can be stolen a number of ways: easy passwords, repetitive passwords, clicking on a link, and then you put in your password, looking at you, mom, or just a data leak that is out of your control. Good news for you, you can take control with Aura. They're today's sponsor. Aura is a Swiss Army knife for your identity. Want to monitor and lock your credit? No problem. Need something to monitor your transactions for fraud? Do you need something to monitor your passwords to see if they're part of a data leak? Yep. Aura has a VPN, a password manager, and anti-malware software too. Sign up now for a 14-day risk-free trial from my link down below. And once you get signed in, you can see if any of your passwords have been compromised. You owe it to yourself. Use my link down below to sign up now. So the XM5's microphones are fantastic. I've done plenty of Zoom calls with them in my testing and normal phone calls too. Now what I find to be most impressive is the isolation of background sounds when using the mic. Here's an audio sample with low background sound. Think about a empty coffee shop or a quiet office building. And then here it is with a lot of background sound. So think about like a busy coffee shop like during rush hour, or you're in the office working like in a co-working area. This is the XM4 audio quality. This is me talking in an environment with no background sound at all. Here's me talking in kind of an ambient background sound. And here's me in kind of a louder environment with a lot more background sound happening. Let me know what you think in the comments, which one sounds better to you. Before we get to Chris, I'll give my quick impressions of sound quality. Now for me, between the XM4s and XM5s, there isn't much there. With newer songs listening to lossless versions or songs mastered for Dolby, you can hear the soundstage is more expansive, meaning there is more separation between the vocals and instruments. Light Switch is a great example. You can hear Charlie's voice all over the place when he's harmonizing. I can pinpoint exactly where his voice is. Doja Cat Woman is another great example. I hear different moans and other background sounds from different locations. It does help me enjoy music a little bit more, and I start to appreciate the little details they put into it. So all these things are on the XM4s, but on the XM5s, it's just more apparent to me, and the overall tone does feel a touch warmer. Now this is all over Bluetooth, as most people listen over Bluetooth. I don't use the cord at all, so these are just Bluetooth impressions, and corded may give different results, but this is based off my personal experience and the way I use things.
All right, so I just got through comparing the Sony 4s versus the Sony 5s, and I have to say I'm really impressed with the improvements from one model to the next. Biggest thing I noticed right away when I put on the 4s is that there is a bit of slight distortion as the volume levels get higher. As I really get into some crescendos and the climax of the music, I'm just starting to notice some distortion, and it really took away from the listening experience. Whereas with the 5s, I don't know if it's the compressor or the new drivers, but everything just felt a lot more quality. In addition to that, just the feel of the headphones themselves, you could kind of feel that the Sony 4s were a little bit dated, whereas I really got this like nice sleek feel out of the 5s. Very smooth, very pleasing to the touch and pleasing on the ear, super comfortable overall. So if you're currently on 4s and wondering whether or not you want to move up to the Sony 5s, I think it's definitely a worthwhile improvement for your sound quality as you're listening.
Dang, you're good, man.
Oh, word?
So for $50 more, is it actually worth it? For me, the microphone is essential. I do around 4 hours of calls per week, and having that as an option, even in a noisy environment, is essential to me. Sound quality is better, but on the XM4s, I think the sound quality is still great. And noise cancellation on paper is a lot better, but unless you're in that really noisy environment, you can't tell the difference. Although they don't fold, the size isn't that much bigger than the XM4s, but they are lighter and more breathable, so that is a really good trade-off for me. Regardless, $400 is expensive, so if they're out of budget, the XM4s still come in at around $349. Hopefully they'll come down in price soon, but my links are down below to check that out. Now, a lot of people who may not be into these type of headphones will still see $400 or $349 as a lot of money, but if you look at other products on the market, like the Apple AirPods Max, these actually are a bargain compared to those. But anyways, those are my thoughts. I want to know what yours are. A big thanks to Chris. He has a YouTube channel for music and a Patreon that lets you do a deeper dive into composing and other deep music topics. So make sure you check him out and give him a follow if that interests you. Once again, Kevin the Tech Ninja, have a wonderful day. Talk to you folks later. Peace.